Richard, you're a national hero now.
Thank you, sir. But I was just doing my job.
I think this is Clint's best directed movie in a long time in terms of putting all the pieces together in a classic way. And you literally made the movie. You had the heart of the movie.
Thanks. I think, you know, Clint is also prolific in that way of, I think someone said this is his 38th movie.
Right.
Which is just insane, you know? You know, having a scorecard like he has where maybe not everything it was perfect or there were an element or two that might have lacked, how many brilliant, perfect or near perfect films has he made? Quite a few, maybe two hands.
Well, they're all
worth.
brilliant.
Yeah.
But this one is.
Yeah, this is. I think this is up there with the Changeling and American Sniper and some of the great recent films he's made. Yeah.
So how did you get into Richard? I was in Atlanta at that time. I had done The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe on CBS television. I was in Atlanta.
Okay.
I never believed that he was guilty.
Really? You had an instinct based off the kind of...
He just didn't seem... Years ago, I'd been at the U.S. Attorney's Office as a prosecutor. He just didn't look guilty to me.
You've lived a lot of life,
and
buddy.
you did a great job of showing... You never looked like you were guilty in the movie. You never looked like we should be.
You know, it's funny. Sam Rockwell told me, he said, you should plant a red herring moment where you say or do something that looks suspicious, but it's just to trick the audience to make them question. And I thought that was great advice. So there's a scene where I'm sort of, you know, eating lasagna and I'm talking to this guy about bombs.
Oh, I know.
And I threw in the last third of the speech maybe where I mentioned, who knows, it could be you, it could be me. These guys look like regular people. I threw that in just to kind of, you know, make the audience scratch their heads a little bit. You know?
Well, I got worried when you had all the guns on the bed.
My goodness, that's a lot of artillery for a guy who... Well, and then again, he was in law enforcement. What's funny, too, is people could look at that amount of weaponry and go, why do you own all that? That's suspicious. But it's like, people that love football might own an insane amount of Chicago Bears paraphernalia. Right. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. You like what you like, and if it's an aggressive passion, you're inundated with all of those things. So, unfortunately for Richard, all of that context was fodder to push the narrative that the FBI was after, which, of course, was ill-fated and inappropriate, you know.
So what did you think about the news media and all the allegations of fake news and the government?
It's a weird time we're living in, man. It's such a weird time where I used to think that when it comes from the White House or it comes from a publication, I can trust it as gospel. And that's not the case, nor was it ever the case. We just live in a place where we're all spouting off on the internet and talking at the speed of light as if we have to, but that's always been the case. You know, a lot of these problems we're just doomed to repeat if we don't have leadership roles in which people decide that we're going to change the lineage. You know, biblically speaking, they talk about you can change familial traits by cutting them off. You sever the lineage of a sin or a trait. We need to sever the lineage of problems in our society, and I think we're doing it to some degree, but we're still seeing a lot of those problems resurface.
Well, whenever I think of Richard Jewell, I'm going to think of you. And how was his mother? Was she happy to see you in the role?
I think so. You know, she really gave a sign-off early on where she said, you look just like Richard, and you do things that he did that you don't even know you're doing. You know, she was really kind of early on giving me a lot of confidence and encouragement. And then when I saw her on the red carpet at the AFI Fest, we both, you know, broke down a little bit because it was a pretty heavy moment, as you can imagine.
You ready to start fighting back?